Hello guys, today I'm going to share you 1,000 over 1,000 questions and answers of the real estate license exam, and this will help you a lot on the exam preparation in California. I got the license, the real estate license recently. I got a job, and now it's very good right now. And then the thing is that I want to share this to very good apps, and there's answers on all the categories that go through all the questions that you will that will help you to pass the exam easily. So this is computer trainers apps, and a on these apps you can see that we go through property interest, title acquisitions, encumbrances, title, insurance. Yeah, a lot of uh, categories that will help you to review it. Okay, today I will start with property interest. So the first question: a fee simple absolute estate would be best be defined as A, an estate based on a condition subsequent; B, an estate without encumbrances, which can be easily transferred; C, the highest interest a person can have in real property; D, an estate which is less than freehold. Um, yeah, there's an explanation here. The correct answer is C. Um, so this is the explanation. A fee simple absolute estate is the highest interest or one can owe in land. It is not based on a condition or even which subsequently happens. Nor is it less than freehold estate because it is in definite duration. It is a freehold estate. So next. Number two, of the following, which best defines a feasible estate? A. Title in the owner without limitation. B. An estate for years. C. A life estate. D. The most interest that one can hold in land. Yeah, the correct answer is D. The most interest that one can hold in land. The explanation is the A answer is eliminated because all property is going to have some limitation. For example, the police powers or zoning and building codes may limit title to property, whereas the fee simple estate is the most interest that one can hold in property. Next, number three. Question number three. An estate is rented to A for life of X. A dies while X is still living. In the estate, A ceases to exist. B revert to original renter. C vests in X for his life. D vests in the heirs of divorces of A. Um, the correct answer is D. Vest in the heirs are diverse C's of A. As long as X, the designated person, lives, the life estate belongs to A, the life tenant, or the heirs of A. Number four, Tyson owns a store building which he leased to Crow for 7 years. Crow's estate in the store building is A. Personal property, B. Estate for years, C. A charter rail, D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. An estate for years must be for a designated period as given in the question. This is a personal property because it is temporary. It is also known as a charter rail and is less than freehold estate. Number five, An instrument which usually transfer possession of real property but does not transfer ownership is A. A mortgage, B. A sublease, C. A security agreement, D. An easement. The correct answer is B. A sublease, and the explanation is a sublease transfer possession of property from the lessor to the lessee. A mortgage and a security agreement are used in borrowing money, and easement gives the right to use someone else's property. With an easement, that right to use is usually not an exclusive right to use nor a right to possess it. Number six, which of the following would be considered real property? A. Maturing crop which is under a sales contract and to be harvested later. B. Trade features that a tenant has installed but which are removable without damage. C. A built-in refrigerator in a mobile home that is not attached to a permanent foundation. D. A bearing wall in a single family house. The correct answer is D. Since a bearing wall is part of structure of a house, and the house is real property, the bearing wall would also be real property. Number seven, personal property can never A. Become real property, B. Be hypothecated, C. Be alienated, D. None of the above. The correct answer is D. Personal property sometimes becomes real property when it is affixed to real property. It can be hypothecated as when a person borrows against a car and hypothecates the title. It can be alienated, conveyed to someone else. Number eight, Jones conveyed his range to Brown using a land contract. The range was serviced by a mutual water company, and Jones was a stockholder in the company. The stock which Jones owned was appurtenant to the land. Thus, Brown had to enter into a separate contract for the stock of the mutual water company. A. Yes, since stock is always personal property and therefore not included in land contracts. B. No, because land in California cannot be sold without water rights. C. Yes, because real property is not always accompanied by water rights. D. No, because the stock was appurtenant to the land and therefore part of the real property and part of the land contract. The correct answer is D. Stock in a mutual water company is an appurtenant to the land and appurtenant run with the land to the new owner. Number nine, which of the following is always required in joint tenancy ownership of real property? A. The clause with right of survivorship. B. Equal share of interest in the property by each of the joint tenants. C. A husband and wife relationship. D. All of the above. The correct answer is B. A joint tenancy requires four unities: time, title, interest, and possession. The third one, interest, means that the percentage of ownership must be equal among all of the owners. The other items are not requirements for a joint tenancy. Number 10. Legally and technically, property is defined as A. Freehold estates, B. Things which buyers and sellers own, C. Rights of rights or interest which a person has in the thing or D. Only personal property. The correct answer is C. C. The rights or interest which a person has in the thing or. The explanation is property is legally defined as the rights that a person has in the thing or. This refers to bundle of rights theory. 11. Number 11. A tenant in good standing under a valid 5-year lease, which makes no mention of assignment or sublease, um, may legally do which of the following? A. May sublease the property to another, but only with the consent of the lessor. B. May assign but cannot sublease to another. C. May sublease to another but can assign only with the consent of the lessor. D. May sublease or assign the leasehold to anyone, since the lease made no mention of any restriction on such action. The correct answer is D. Uh, may sublease or assign the leasehold to anyone, since the lease make no mention of any restriction or such action. The explanation is if the lease does not otherwise specify, it may be assigned or sublet without restriction. Number 12. When comparing condominiums and rented apartments, which of the following would be true? A. The person who occupies each unit would have an stake in real property. B. The occupier has a fee stake. C. The local tax assessor must assess each unit of the subdivision separately. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Um, the person who occupies each unit would have an stake in real property. The explanation is the owner of a condominium would have a fee simple stake. The tenant of an apartment would have a less than freehold stake. Number 13, another name for an estate of inheritance is A. Fee simple divisible. B. Estate at sufferance. C. Estate in fee. D. Probate estate. The correct answer is C by definition. So the correct answer is C by definition. So another name of for an estate of inheritance is estate in fee. C is the correct answer. Number 14. David gave a granted to John transferring title to a house. The title is subject to a condition stating that title will be forfeited if alcoholic beverage are ever sold on the property. John would have which of the following types of estates? A fee simple absolute. B. A fee simple divisible. C. An estate in forfeiture. D. Less than a freehold estate. So the correct answer is B. B. Fee simple divisible. The explanation is the title, which is a condition on doing something or not doing something in future, is known as a fee simple divisible title. Number 15. A family rents a vacation home from September 1st, 2002 to January 1st, 2003. Their tenancy would properly be classified as A. Month to month, B. A period tenancy, C. A fee simple estate, D. An estate for years. The correct answer is D. An estate for years. Since the rental period is a period, is a specific period. It is an estate for years. Um, Notice a specific no, a period means that an estate for years. Number 16, a person who held a life estate lease the property for 5 years and then died 1 month after signing the lease. The new owners order the lease to move out. The lease was A. Valid for 5 years, B. Valid only as long as the lessor was alive, C. Invalid from the beginning, D. Invalid unless the chief executor confirm it. The correct answer is B. Valid only as long as the lessor was alive. The explanation is the holder of the life estate could only lease what he had, which was the use of the property until he died. Number 17. Which of the following would be defined as a feature in the law? A. Something that is made part of a charter rule. B. Something referred to by actions but not referred to in the sales contract. C. Something incorporated into the land. D. Something used in an extraordinary way with the land. The correct answer is C. Something incorporated into the land. The explanation is that a feature is something which is attached to the land or the real property which thus becomes a real property. Number 18. Mr. Smith held a life estate in a single family residence. The estate based upon their whole life. She leased the residence to Mr. Jones for a 5 year period, but died a few weeks after the lease began. The lease was valid on its face. No, A, invalid on its face. Again, I repeated this question. Number 18, Mrs. Smith held a life estate in a single family residence. The estate was based upon her own life. She leased the residence to Mr. Jones for a 5 year period, but died a few weeks after the lease began. The lease was A. Invalid on its face because the holder of a life estate does not have the right to lease the property. B. Invalid for the remaining term of the lease. C. Valid only during the life of the lessor. Uh, D. Valid only if Mr. Jones was unaware of the life estate when the lease was created. The correct answer is C. Valid only during the life of the lessor. The explanation is the holder of a life estate has rights in the property only as long as the designated life exists. Upon the death of Mrs. Smith, her rights and any lease based on those rights would automatically terminate. Number 19. Which of the following is not a characteristic of a fee simple title? A. It is real encumbrances. B. It is of indefinite duration. C. It is transferable um, without consideration. D. It is transferable by will or interstate. The correct answer is A. Fee simple title is of indefinite duration. It can be transferred with or without consideration, and it is transferable by a will or by interstate succession. Encumbrances may be defined as anything which burdens or affects the title, such as assessment, restriction, engrossments, etc. Non-money encumbrances or trust deeds, mortgages, judgment, etc. For example, money encumbrances. Number 20. Which of the following rights of ownership in real property do individuals normally not have? Um, Servants' rights. A. Severance rights. B. Eminent domain rights. C. Riparian rights. D. Reliction rights. The correct answer is B. Eminent domain rights are those normally held by the various units of government or quasi-governmental entities such as utilities. Um, Number 21. As used in real property law, which of the following is mostly nearly correct as meaning of the word tenancy? A. The landlord tenant relationship. B. The obstinacy of a holdover tenant. C. The mode or method of holding title to real property by a lessee or owner. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. By definition, tenancy is the method or model of holding title. Number 22. Which of the following is regarded as a personal property interest? A. All buildings are erected on a parcel. B. A stand of a virgin timber. C. Leasehold estate in real property. D. Rights to the unextracted minerals. So the correct answer is C. Leasehold estate in real property are regarded as personal property, and laws governing personal property apply. Each of the other three items listed in a real property interest. Number 23. When the state has given permission to non-riparian owner of a farm to use a nearby lake, the owner have received this right by A. Eminent domain. B. Estoppel. C. Percolation. D. Appropriations. So the correct answer is D. Appropriation is the giving of certain rights by a judicial or governmental body. Percolation is the ability of the soil to absorb and drain water. Example, the ability of the ground to absorb septic tank effluents. Estoppel is a principle of law that bars people from asserting certain rights. Eminent domain is the right of the state to take property for public use. 24. Which of the following is legal method that a city used to implement its general plan? A. Variances. B. General land use. C. Zoning. D. Conditional use permits. The correct answer is C. A city general plan indicates which area will be used for which types of development. In order to implement the general plan, the city will pass zoning laws allowing only certain types of development to occur within the certain areas. Number 25. When rent is computed on the gross sales of a business account occupying real property. The lease is correctly termed a net lease, B, a gross lease, C, a voidable lease, D, a percentage lease. The correct answer is D. In a percentage lease, the rent is tied to a percentage of the gross receipt of a business. This means that the correct answer D is a percentage lease. Number 26. If a man has a freehold estate, which of the following would result in his having a less than freehold estate? A. Sales and leaseback. B. Selling the mineral rights to a third party. C. Giving a leasehold interest for 5 years. D. Granting a life estate. The correct answer is A. Sale and leaseback. The explanation is a less than freehold estate is a landlord-tenant arrangement of the choices offered. Only a sale leaseback would result in a less than freehold estate. Number 27. If a man leases a store for only 6 months, he would have an A. Estate from period to period. B. Estate for years. C. Estate at will. D. Estate as sufferance. The correct answer is B. Estate for years. The explanation is in an estate for years, the tenant has the use of the property for a specific period of time, which may be days, weeks, months, or years. 28. Number 28. The remedy of unlawful detainer action is used by offended A. Grantors. B. Holders of notes in default. C. Lessor. D. Truster. The correct answer is C. Lessors. The lessor is the landlord who is entitled to the reversionary interest in the property in the event the tenant has breached the lease and refuses to give up possessions. Number 29. Which of the following is considered personal property? A. An easement. B. A mineral rights. C. An existing mortgage. D. Trees growing in a forest. So the correct answer is C. An existing mortgage is a piece of paper and therefore is considered personal property. An easement and mineral rights are appurtenant and therefore real property. Growing trees are real property. Number 30. Which of the following would not be classified as real property? A. Appurtenant easements. B. Water courses. C. Unextracted minerals. D. Lessee's estate in residential properties. I finished it part with 30 questions. I will continue the second part with the remaining 24 questions and the other categories. Um, so thank you for listening, and I would need your support to click on the subscribe below and to follow my channel and to get all the videos. Um, this will help you a lot on the exam.